All right, so this session is to help us understand. This session is to help us understand what's going on in the market, right? Now, what we'd like to do is that we'd like to study the market, basically analyze the charts to see where opportunities lie for us today. So today is an important day with the US dollar because the US dollar has an important data today, right? Now, of course, before we get into the market, we always want to see what's happening with the calendar, with the events calendar. What is it that's happening in the market today with the event calendar? So today is Thursday, the 11th of January. So we can see we have a lot of USD data today. Now, all data points are not made the same. They are not made equal, right? So what we're seeing here right now is a major event, a major data point that we're seeing here today. And that's because CPI is a very important data. It's just like every month, there are some important data points that come out from the US, from the Eurozone, and all these different economies. So we want to make sure that the data we are looking at mostly, we want to weigh the strength of that data. Is it a very important one? Is it one that is not so important? But the one that we have today is CPI. This CPI has to do with inflation in the US economy. So last month, the data for last month was 3.1%. So the projection, this data will be out today. The actual will be out today. The projection for this actual that will be out today is 3.2%. But of course, we don't know yet because the data itself is not out. But what we know is that this data is very, very important. And because it's very important, we'll need to keep our eyes on that, keep our minds on it, keep our eyes on it, right? So that we'll make sure that our trades are in order at the time this data comes out, right? Yeah, so now we know that we have something important in the market today. So let's look at the chart. What's happening on the chart? So we start with the dollar index. Now the dollar index, we call it DXY on Vantage platform. It's called the UXDX. You will see it as UXDX. So it is the dollar index. It measures the strength of the dollar, because the dollar accounts for more than 80% of transactions and trade around the world. All right. So for that reason, we want to pay attention to the dollar so that then we can then use that to make decisions for whatever other trades we want to take. Right. So the dollar has relationship with everything. Every currency pair here you see that has the USD in it is going to be affected by the news that comes out today. So that's the reason why we want to see where is the dollar index likely to go, right? What's the dollar index likely to go? Okay, so now let's start by looking at the higher time frame. So when we look at the higher time frame, we can see that it looks like the dollar index is still likely to buy. See, it looks as if it's likely to buy. We can see that this is a huge candle here. We're on the weekly chart now. This is a huge green candle here, which sort of denotes that there is a potential for a continued upward movement, right? But the thing is that what happens with this data point that's going to come out today is this. This data point is likely, if there is a huge difference, see, if there's a huge difference between this previous, you can see the difference between the previous and the forecast is very small, 0.1. Now, if the actual is so different, is so wide from this forecast that we're seeing here, then it will tend to drive the market very far. It will tend to drive the market. So if we see 3.4 or 3.5 today, then it will drive the market very far. If we see this 3.2, if we see 2.7, it will drive the market very far also, right? So that's what we are going to keep our minds on here. The technical analysis is telling us that price is likely to continue going up. All right. So now, but we're going to keep our eyes on the fundamental first, because the fundamental in this case now is going to drive where the market will go today. Right. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's look at the daily chart also. Then look at 4-hour chart. Okay. So now we can see that for the dollar index, there's a potential that dollar index is going to rise. There's a possibility that dollar index is going to rise and keep going up. That's my projection for dollar index, rise and keep going up. But then if the news today is not in favor of the dollar, then we might see the dollar index fall from here rather than go up. Okay, so let's try to analyze this a bit and see what are the support and resistance levels we are seeing here right now. So we have a support level here. Then we have a resistance level here. We have a support and a resistance level here. Okay, so what this is telling us is this: if price comes out, if the news comes out today, right, and price breaks out of this place, the tendency is that it will keep coming down. If the news is in favor, now if the news is in favor of the dollar, then the dollar will rise. Which means if it breaks out of this place, most likely it's going to keep going up. But if it's not in favor of the dollar, then the news is going to break down and start coming down. And this news outcome is something that we are not going to know until that news comes out. All right, we're not going to know that. Okay, so now this is the direction that the market is likely to take. This is the potential to take. So let's go now look at what is happening with other currency pairs. Let's start with let's try to start with gold. Now, when you look at gold, let's look at gold from a higher time frame. When you look at gold, from what I can see that gold is likely gold has been buying. You can see the massive buy on gold. This massive buy on gold has been so big. I think this gold buy has been more than probably 15,000 tips or something, you know, or is it what's that now? How many pips is that? Let's see. Okay, so that's over 3,000 pips, So that's height right there. Okay, so now what are we expecting to happen next? We've seen what has happened. What is it that's likely to happen next? We are expecting price to come to this area here. So we're expecting gold to sell until it gets here before it starts buying again. Sell till it gets here or here before it starts buying again. So, but this is on the weekly chart. That's on the higher time frame. What is the shorter time frame telling us? What is it that the shorter time frame is telling us? So let's check. What is it that the short time frame is telling us? Again, we want to make sure we get our structures right. These structures are very important. They tell us what price is about to do, you know. So when a structure is broken, price is definitely going to go in that direction. Okay, so this is what we are seeing now. So this is what we are seeing right now, right? So you can see that price is kind of stuck within this range. Price is stuck inside this range right now. So short term, we can say from a higher time frame, from a longer time frame, that gold is likely to keep selling until it gets to this area. This area should hold it and make it buy, right? Now, from what we see here, we are not so, it's a bit, it's within this range. Now we can't say, oh, price gold is going to buy or gold is going to sell. But here is where the news again comes in. Now, if price breaks out of this place, price breaks this area, if price breaks here, then we should see price continue probably to this bottom here. But price has to break this area here, this support. We call this a support level. Price has to break this support level for it to come down. And the way that will happen is if the dollar index, if the news today favors the dollar, if the news favors the dollar, then the dollar is going to rise. The dollar is going to break out of here. As the dollar is going up, gold is going to come down. As the dollar is going up, gold will come down. So if dollar index breaks out of here and keeps going up, then gold is going to come down. Then gold will do what we are expecting here now, which is break out of here. Okay. But if this news does not favor the dollar, the news doesn't favor the dollar, which means that the dollar is going to fall, then gold, it means that gold is definitely going to break out of this place and start going up. See? So it means that gold is going to break out of that point and start going up. So, and this is something that we have to, the only way we're going to know this is by waiting for the news to come out, right? So this is the major direction in the market right now, the major direction. So if you are getting into any trades right now, you want to make sure, first of all, what is it that's going to happen with that news? Because that news is what's going to drive price. It will drive price out of this range. So throughout this week from Monday till now, market has not made significant move. You can see how it's been going up, down, up, down, up, down. And whenever price is stuck within a range like this, you don't really see trading opportunities. You don't really see trading opportunities like that. So that's why this news today is very important, because the news will force price to break out of this range so that it can give us a buy opportunity or a sell opportunity. All right. So let's check other pairs. Let's look at other pairs that we might be seeing our opportunity. Okay. Now this is USD JPY. This is USD JPY. Now for USD JPY, this is what we are going to be expecting to happen today. We might actually have a trade here. So I think okay, this trade was not given in the this trade was probably given in the group this morning, or no, it wasn't given in the group, but this is the analysis behind it. Okay, so this is the trade where I'm expecting on USD JPY. USD JPY trade is going to be around here, right? So now you can see price is currently at 145.543. Now for this trade, the parameters of this trade is going to be this. So the parameters of this trade is going to be this. Let me try to put it down here. Okay. So this is going to be like a sell limit trade, right? A sell limit on sell limit USD JPY. USD JPY sell limit, right? USD JPY sell limit. So so what's the price? We're going to have a price, entry price, right? Entry price, stop loss, take profit. Okay, so the entry price here is going to be so this is the entry price. Okay, let me impute the parameters here. So that's the entry price. Then take profit point. So this is take profit. Let's take profit. Then let's take stop loss. What was the stop loss? A stop loss level here. Okay. So these are stop loss level here. Okay. So this is the trade we are going to be taking. So we have a USD JPY sell limit. We have entry price. Entry price is at 146.527. Stop loss is at 147.048, and take profit is at 145.32, 3.323. Right. So this is a trade we can take on USD JPY. Okay, but then this trade shouldn't have a problem with the news. Of course, the news is still going to drive price. Once news drives price, that should give us an opportunity to get into this trade. All right. So this is USD JPY. Let's check for more trades. Like we said, let's look at what do we have here. Let's look at the larger time frame on Euro USD. So for Euro USD, we are going to we will hold off with Euro USD for now, because Euro USD has this strong relationship with dollar index. Just as we do not have a clear picture of what is happening with the dollar index until the news comes out. When the news comes out, that's when we will know what's going to happen with the dollar index. So because of that, we will also not be taking any trades on Euro USD, because the Euro USD has this tendency, has this relationship with the dollar index, where price is going to just, it copies, Euro USD copies dollar index in the opposite direction. So when Euro USD buys, when dollar index buys, Euro USD sells as well, just the way it is with gold, right? So, but then when we look at the larger time frame on Euro USD, we'll see that we are expecting price to sell till it gets to this region. We are expecting price to sell until it gets to this region. This region here is where we are expecting price to sell to, right? But for price to sell and come here, we need the dollar index to buy. So we need the news to favor the dollar index. If the news favors the dollar index and the dollar index is rising and rallying and buying very heavily, then we will see price sell. We will see a huge sell also on the Euro USD right here. And then when that happens, if Euro USD can get to this point, this is the area for a buy that we're looking for. This is a higher time frame. This is a daily chart right now. If price gets to this point, that would be a massive buy, a very good buy, right? But then we can still have opportunities here after the news comes out. If price doesn't go straight to this point, we'll still have opportunities here when the news comes out, right? But then for now, we will not be able to do that. We won't be able to look for any opportunities yet, because we don't know where the news is going to go yet. We don't know where the news is going to drive the market to, where the news is going to drive the dollar index to at this time, right? So for that reason, we're just going to keep our eyes on Euro USD and wait for it to play out. Now, another thing I see on Euro USD right here is what we call the head and shoulder pattern. A head and shoulder pattern is usually a bearish pattern. You see, so the way it works is that you will see a head. You see this is a head. You see a shoulder. So you see one head, you see a left and a right. And usually what happens is that when this kind of trade starts playing out, the left shoulder, this is what we call the left shoulder. This is the left shoulder right here. This is the left shoulder. Hold on. So this is the left shoulder. See, this left shoulder, that's the left shoulder. Then usually when it plays out, the movement will be equal to the right shoulder as well. The right shoulder will be equal to the left shoulder. So we can see the left shoulder now. The left shoulder is from this area, this zone here, the 1.07500 zone, all the way to this area here. That's what we are seeing here now on the left shoulder. Now, on the right shoulder, if this starts to play out, we will see that price is likely going to come back to this area. So that's another confirmation to us that Euro USD might actually sell. And what we are expecting is we're expecting a sell that will come all the way here. Now, of course, this is daily chart. Once price starts selling, we will definitely get opportunity to enter for a sell as we progress. So we don't have to wait for price to get here before we can trade. But then we are going to get sell opportunities, but we want price here. We want the news to come out first so that the news can push the dollar index in a particular direction so that we can know. Because if news favors the dollar now, the dollar starts buying, Euro USD will start to sell. If the news doesn't favor dollar index and dollar starts selling, Euro USD will buy. So you can see the market is sort of in an inflection point right now where you are wondering, is it going to buy? Is it going to sell? Is it going to buy? Is it going to sell? So we need that news event to come out to clarify where this market is going to go. If it's going to sell, then of course, it's going to definitely start coming down. Once it starts coming down to give us clarity, then we know that, oh, the next trades we are looking for now is a sell trade. The next possible trades, several trades going forward is going to be mainly sell trades on Euro USD. You see? And also that's, like I said before, that's also something I'm expecting on gold too. I'm expecting gold to sell sell and come all the way down here. So you can see from what we are seeing on the dollar index now, we are seeing the dollar index with a potential to buy, and we are seeing gold with the potential to sell. What usually happens, like I said before, is that when the dollar is buying, gold is going to be selling, the Euro USD will be selling. Okay, then USD JPY will buy. Sometimes. Sometimes USD JPY tends to follow the direction of the dollar index. Sometimes you will see that there's a difference. There's a divergence between the USD JPY and dollar index and the dollar index, right? But for the Euro USD, if dollar is so for the Euro USD now, we are expecting a potential sell. From the analysis we are doing now, we are expecting a potential sizable sell, big sell, from all the way from this top here to this bottom here. So we should see price do a left shoulder, which is already done. This is a left shoulder already. This is a left shoulder. We're expecting to do a right shoulder. But the news is what will give us the clarity for that, right? So what we are going to do is that after the news, by tomorrow morning, we have another session. We will then look at what happened with the news. Then we can then decide where we are going to go, the direction that we're going to go. So we're not going to be taking any trade on gold, no trade on Euro USD, no trade on gold. And then also, the only trade we have now, we're looking at now is the trade on USD JPY, right? So yes, that's what we have for now. Okay, so I'll see you on the next one. We'll have a session again tomorrow where we'll now decide where are we going to go based on what the news has done today. Okay, so we'll have to end this session right now. So it's not too long. So I'm going to pause this recording also so that we can watch it if we're not on the call. Thank you, guys. So for this trade, right, look at it. Look at the parameter. If you're on this call right now, this is the parameter for the trade. You can take it down. You can write it down, take a screenshot, and you can place that trade. So we have a sell limit, sell USD sell limit, USD JPY sell limit. Entry price is 146.527. Stop loss is 147.048. And take profit is 145.323. So that's the only trade that we have from this session. Okay. So please take a screenshot or write it down so that you can also place that trade. Okay. I'll leave that for just a few minutes, for just 1 minute or 30 seconds.